Welcome to the Carl B. Phillips Show, hosted by gospel music industry veteran, recording artist, songwriter, producer, radio announcer, and actor, Carl B. Phillips. Join Carl as he talks with gospel recording artists, producers, songwriters, pastors, and other creatives about music, ministry, and life. Get ready for another great conversation on the Carl B. Phillips Show.
This week's guest on the Carl B. Phillips Show, gospel recording artist and worship leader, Jo Staley. Welcome to the Carl B. Phillips Show. I am Carl B. Phillips, Uncle Carl. Today's guest is a Detroit native, father of four, owner of August Wear, recording artist, and one of the city's leading praise and worship leaders. Please help me welcome Jo Staley.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for having me. Uncle Carl B., the doctor, the legend himself. Yes, sir. It's an honor and a privilege to be on here, man. Yes, sir. I'm excited about what's about to go on, man. So I'm ready to have a conversation.
We're going to have a great time. We're going to have a great time tonight. As I stated, I'm going to ask a couple of very random questions.
Okay.
So the first random question, if someone gives you a birthday card or a Christmas card, how long do you keep the card before you throw it away?
Oh, man. Shoot. It wouldn't be thrown away. It'd be tucked somewhere. So, and eventually threw away. So, like, once I read it, I'll set it down because I don't set cards up just to collect dust. So I would say it's tucked away like immediately. Mm-hmm. And then because I got the point, and it's after that, once it's in the trash after a minute. So it's really forgotten about, like probably like that next day. You know what I'm saying? No shade to anything, but it's like I got the point after the car. I'm not going to read it 20 times.
And if there was a little something in there, you got it.
Oh yeah, if that was the first, before I even read the words, I took the money and I pocketed it. I said, "Bless you, Lord, for the money." You know, after that, sometimes if they ain't write nothing personal in there, sometimes I don't even read what it is. Thank you for the seat.
Just give you a card. We'll give you an envelope with some money and be done.
That's it. Or just say thank you. You know what I'm saying? You can tell me and I'll be just cool with that. You know. Yeah, card. I wouldn't say I'm ungrateful. Or I'm not. I wouldn't be grateful for it, but it's just being honest. The way my house set up, I don't like when I have a whole thing of cards sitting on my desk, you know, don't know where I don't got room for it. So
you know, I find that I don't know if I'm a hoarder or not, but I have a file folder that's like about this wide, full of cards from over the years.
And so you, how long have you had it for? How long? How many years?
Years, and I'm like, you know what? I need to throw these out because it's taking up space.
But see, and that's the thing. But see, you got to organize. I never thought about that because I automatically think like when a card, you set it up. So it's like I'm not gonna set this up, you know. So, but like what you doing? I see what I wouldn't say it became hoarding because it's like you didn't realize, but you had an organized spot for them. You know what I'm saying? So just in case you did want to go revisit them, you knew exactly where to get. But like you said, as the years go on, it probably is like, okay, this is about like at 1,000. Now I didn't say everybody's card in the last 5 years. You know what I'm saying? So it kind of looks like hoarding because it's like you didn't kept them, but it's just that was just your way of organizing that keepsake. You know what I mean? Like, and so are you considering throwing them away now?
I'm thinking about it. Yes, I'm getting older and like I need this space.
You said you had them long. You had them. Long.
You know, because for boomers, that's what we did. We gave cards.
Yes, absolutely.
This generation, you post a cash app and you done.
And that's it. Or like you said, they'll send a gift, GIF. You know them. They'll send memes and stuff now. Happy birthday instead of a card, or happy. Like yesterday, I got so many Happy Father's Day memes. Thing like I didn't get not one card, but I got a bunch of Happy Father's Days inbox. Happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day. Different ways. So they got ways of greeting.
The different generations, how things have taken my generation. Like I think a lot of times, man, I miss going to a Walgreens, CVS right before the party, buying a card, getting the extra $20, the stuff.
Throwing it in there. And for that, I wouldn't say we, like you said, this generation just got away from it's kind of a lazier generation. If we are a lazier generation, that's just what it is, because that's taking time to go out and go do something that you really not doing now. All you doing is looking at your phone, finding the best gift or GIF that you can find and sending it. So we ain't got to waste no gas. We ain't doing that. And if we want to send them $20, what's your cash app? You get what I'm saying? So it's like, it's so like, we got so tech savvy now. It's like even when it comes to romance, sometimes it's like, it's so watered down now. Unless you go back to the way it was, it's all gonna be like how the generation is now. Going to buy flowers and stuff like that, you know what I mean, and going to buy a card, because they still make cards, you know, but we just don't go and buy them. I know. I haven't.
Do you still use cursive writing if you have to write your loved one a letter?
I use both, yeah. Because I'm fluent with cursive, like more, because I can write faster when I'm writing cursive. But like I will write regular too sometimes if I'm just writing real fast. But it all depends on. But yes, I definitely use
special person though. You're gonna write in cursive and write the little heart and all that kind of fun stuff.
Oh, put special rules, caduceus, spray some stuff. Make sure you don't spray ink so it won't. So the words won't miss. Do you remember that movie? Oh my God, when he had the letter, and then it had fell in the water. I cannot forget. In like the water, he had met it, but he had a dog. I forget his name. The white dude, and the water melted the letter, and he was trying to read the letter. It was so funny, man. Like, and it was just droopy. Yeah, but I can't. Some Chavez or something like that. The actor. That was in what's the name of the movies? The Vegas Vacations and the National Lampoons.
So I was in church when a lot of those movies.
Oh yeah, man. Like, see, so my dad, he was a movie guy. It was to the point where like he would dub the movies from TV on VHS. I don't know how, but we had every movie on VHS. Like my mom still has them to this day, like in boxes. You know what I mean? And because like we had a bookshelf with videos on it, no books.
There's all videos.
All videos, all movies.
VHS.
Yeah, he'll have like 2 and 3 movies on each VHS.
Your dad was real old school.
My dad was, he was real old school. He would put everything on VHS.
That kind of leads me to my next question. Mm-hmm. Growing up in Detroit, what were some of your favorite things to do as a kid?
Really, around in my era, we was more outside. So we would do stuff like football, flag football. We would at the time, I know it was illegal, but we would open up the fire hydrant and put the stick in there, and we'd literally stand on the corner and let the water hit us and stuff like that was fun to us. And so that's pretty much how my childhood, we was outside, you know, adventurous and trying to find stuff. I got in trouble one time, me and my friends, because we had went into a vacant lot we didn't know we were supposed to be in. And so we thought, so it was just security, right? We thought it was the police. We was so scared because we was kids. You know what I'm saying? We was young, so oh my God, we like, man, we about to go to jail. And it was just a security guard. He was like, man, I'm just telling y'all can't be out here. It's dangerous. So, you know, I'm like, we was like, oh my God. We ran so fast because we thought the security guard was the police. We was like, oh, we about to go to jail as kids. We thought we was about to go to jail. So I was very like outdoors, you know, when I was younger, growing up.
Also growing up, what was the first out of town trip that you remember taking as a kid?
Well, when I was born here, so it was Alabama, Huntsville, Alabama. We actually ended up relocating for a couple of years. So once we moved to Alabama, I think we was there for like maybe 2 years before we came back. And so that was pretty much my first time being out of state was when I was like 6. And then we moved back up when I was about 8 years old. So
have you been back to Huntsville recently?
My mom actually just moved back down there like 3 years ago. So she's down there. City, man. And I went to visit her 2 years ago. So on Mother's Day. And so but I haven't been back since. But yeah, she's there.
I love Huntsville, man. It's so.
She said she ain't coming back. She's not coming back.
It's a really growing area. A lot of nice places. I like to eat, and there's a lot of good places to eat, and nice malls and stuff there. So it's
Right.
really a booming area.
Right.
In reading your bio, one of the things you talked about is your love for travel.
Yes, sir.
What are some of the things you like to do when you travel to a place you've never been before?
I like to see. I like to see how, like, if you want to call it a downtown area, like I'm more scenery because I've always been like a landscape person. I've always been about scenery, and so anytime I travel, I like to see how buildings are made. Like even when I went to like Chicago, when I was in a downtown area, just like how like just how everything is structured and stuff like that. It's just how people live, the way it's a different way of how we live. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes and like but the most like food for sure. I like experience different food places as well. That's my main thing is food and like being out, just seeing sightseeing and seeing what's different like from here and there. You know what I'm saying?
What's one,
Treat.
what's one of the favorite places that you visited so far?
Uh, I would just I'm gonna say Orlando.
Okay.
Orlando. Orlando was one of the most beautiful, and then it was where I was staying too. The Airbnb I had, it didn't make it no better. You get what I'm saying? So it's like I didn't want to come back. Like at the pool, if I didn't go anywhere, I would have been cool staying at the Airbnb. You know, I just chose to go out just to be downtown and to see. But it was so hot. It was like, man, I'm about to stay at the Airbnb. You know, and getting this pool. I'm like, so it was. I think Orlando, all because of the scenery. Like I said, you can and then like I like being places where like people don't know me. You know what I'm saying? Like I can really let my hair down. Not if I run into somebody cool, but the chances of that, like it is here, is like, not saying I'm about to be acting crazy, but it's like I would like to be places where it's like I can literally walk everywhere and nobody is about to be like, Joe, so I could just literally just be free. I could be musty if I wanted to be. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody like, man, you stay right now because you don't know me like that. You never even probably even see me again. So, here they catch you slipping musty. They ain't gonna live that down. They know you like, hey, that's Jo Staley. He was musty, that one day, that's one thing I do like about being out of town. You don't know nobody, Yeah.
What's on your bucket list for a place you want to travel to?
I want to go to Aruba. I heard that they had black sand or something like that there. Is that true? So I've done research, but I don't know if how people can crop stuff. But I've seen in Aruba that they have black sand. So I wanted to go just to see that, like just to experience that. That's on my bucket list, like just to go to Aruba just to see that. If I do nothing else, I don't gotta put my feet in the water. I just want to go see the black sand, and I could turn around and come back home.
What I've traveled a lot, and sometimes it's like you want to do these certain things, but once you do it, it's like, okay, what's next?
What's next? Yeah. It's so like because once
what's
next?
You
did, it's like okay, now it's on to the next. I didn't put that off. I didn't scratch that off. You a traveler? You like to travel as well too? I see.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yes.
My goal is to hit all 50 states.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely.
I have 11 states to go.
Just 11. See, I think I got about 38 more.
Yeah,
I'm about 30 more because I've been to the close ones, Chicago, Ohio. I've been to South Carolina, North Carolina, Alabama, Orlando. So that's only like 10. You know what I'm saying? It's a couple more, but but you done pretty much.
I'm almost done. So this year I'm going to Alaska. I'm gonna do Alaska this year, so I can get the list.
Oh.
Yeah.
So what's the plans for Alaska in that cold? You gonna be in the
Alaska has sunshine like 12 hours a day in the summer, so fall. But I want to see the northern lights while I'm there. So
yes, sir.
I just want to kind of get out and travel and see things.
Absolutely.
Like there's 50 states out of it. Then after that, I think I want to do Africa. I want to do ministry in Africa.
Yeah, I did say I want to go to the motherland, man, just to touch down, just to see, like because like I heard that that's one of the most wealthiest, places. You know what I'm saying? It ain't as homestead as we think. Some like you got rural areas like you got here in different places, but if you go in the city, they said it's nice. Like, it's real nice. That's what I heard. I never been there, so that's what I heard.
We may have to just do a group tour and go to Africa.
That sounds like a plan to me. You ain't said nothing. That's what I need to say, Doc. I'll put my money up. I'll put it up. I'll start putting it up.
You're also the owner of August Wear. Talk about your business. What is it about?
My clothing brand is a Christian based brand, but I've learned and with being in business and being in ministry that you can't over how do I want to say this? Because I want to sound like I don't love God. You can't over spiritualize your business if you want to be successful. Seriously, you know what I'm saying? Don't take away the essence. Don't. So that's what I believe. Like I don't take away because the drug dealer would probably never know that he's wearing a Christian based brand. Because I didn't oversell it. Like, God bless you, my brother, come buy this shirt. No, man, I got this August Wear gear. You don't even know that you're walking in new beginnings, because that's what it represents. New beginnings, the number 8. Because what happened was when I had a dream about, it was a shirt with the word 8 on there, like EIGHT. So I'm like, I didn't really think nothing twice of it, but I looked up the number 8 and it meant new beginnings. And so I'm like, okay, I'm about to get that on the shirt. I'm just about to get that made. Just like, okay, I'm about to be walking in my new beginnings as something for me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I was going to get the word 8, get it printed by a whole other t-shirt company. I was going to contact somebody to do it. And then, like when I read what the number 8 meaning represent new beginnings, and it derived from Augustus, and Augustus, August came from, because I kept thinking, I'm like, well, no, I ain't going to go with 8. Let me just put Augustus 8 on there. And I'm like, no, that's just too long. And then because my birthday is in August as well. And so I was really trying to get away from August, because I didn't want people to think I was making a brand from my birthday. It has nothing to do with my birthday or my birth month, but it just made sense because just the way it rolled off your tongue. You don't never want nothing to be difficult for somebody to want to get. August 8 or like, no, August Wear. That's it. It's simple. August Wear, like the month. That's how you can catch it.
It's real catchy.
Yeah, and so it just represents new beginnings. Yeah.
How do you want the community to be impacted by August Wear?
Honestly, because of what we represent, I want the community to really just understand, like, if you understood the life of Jesus, this is me, okay? If you understood the life of Jesus, you understand you can be who you are. He not telling you to change who you are. Just change who you are for him. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, it ain't about you wearing a t-shirt. It ain't about what you know what I'm saying? It's not, it's just changing what you do for him. It's not the fact that you sing, just sing for me. It's not the fact that you rap, just rap for me, So that's mainly like the impact I be trying to have for people. Like, you don't have to wear the suit and the tie just to change and know that you are, a believer. You know what I'm saying? Just understand you wearing a Christian-based brand regardless,
You're also the father of 4. How do you balance being a father, a business owner, a worship leader, and a recording artist?
Well, for me, is when it comes to my children, they're mainly with their mothers majority of the time. So as far as with balancing that time with that is kind of, when I get them, and like with the weekends or every other weekend, and but besides that, they go with me everywhere I go. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like I have to find a babysitter or anything like that. My kids are grown enough to the age of where they want to be with dad. You know what I'm saying? So it's not really hard. And like, especially when I'm going out, I don't have to worry about them running around nobody's church, none of that stuff. I don't have those kind of, so my children really make it easy for me when I have them. You know what I'm saying? So as far as when I go out to minister, they know, because they know dad, I will come off the stage in the middle of praise and worship. I will let the saints know, like, because what I'm not going to allow is me leading people and I can't even lead my children. You get what I'm saying? Like, if my children is out of order, how do you expect me to lead y'all? I can't even lead the people that's connected to me. You get what I'm saying? So one thing, but I never really have to worry about that balancing. And so with business and music and stuff, it's all about gauging the schedule and having the proper people, proper team. I always say you got to have a solid team, a solid at least core. If you got a core, you don't need a whole squad. You don't need a whole entourage. But if you got a core team, a core squad, even if it's just 2 people, like you can get a lot done, because that helps me with remembering dates. Like even today, I had my daughter, my one of my daughters, and so we was downtown, and so thank God for Deborah. You know what I'm saying? My manager, shout out to you, love you, girl. She made sure she sent me the message earlier, so I was able, because when I sent her a spot where I could do this interview at, downtown, because I scoped out a spot. I saw the link and I said, oh, I got to get to the crib. You know what I'm saying? So if I wouldn't have got that link from her, I could have potentially forgot about this interview. That's why everything it's important to have people that's in your core that's going to really keep you on your game. So I would say having a team is what really helps too. You know what I'm saying? A good solid core team. You don't need to have a whole entourage. That's me. I don't need all that,
So are you a list person, or do you try to remember everything?
I try to remember everything.
Okay. Keep with 4 kids and everything you got going on. I'm going to pray your strength.
So pray for me. Pray for me. Okay, please. Can you pray for me, please? I know you want to slap me on the back of my head like, what is wrong with you? I understand. Please. I've
literally gotten to the point that I have to put things in my phone.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Talk to Deborah, I'm like, okay, Deborah, I'm going to send you something in the morning of. Let me put that in my phone. When I talk to her on Friday, I put it in my phone at 10 o'clock this morning. Send Deborah the link for the interview.
But see, in my phone. That way you can do that, because, like you said, and so that's good that you're saying, because just in case my core, I can't be mad at them if they don't forget, because at the end of the day, it's ultimately my responsibility to hold and be, especially if they already let me know that you got an interview. You know what I'm saying? It's not, if they forget to remind or something like that, it ain't on them, it's on me, because I should have put that in. So what you're saying makes total sense. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not about to sit up here and lie I'll tablet everything. It's show me your phone. I don't.
I had to start doing that, because when you have a lot of things going on, you can forget. If I have an interview to do, like if someone wants to interview me, I have to make sure that I'm there. I think out of almost 10 years of interviews, I missed one because I couldn't get away. But to me, I want to make sure that I represent myself well. So that's why I do.
Absolutely.
So they send me a reminder. Oh yeah, I need to do this. I can look at my phone at the beginning of the day. This is what I need to do today.
Yeah. And so like I said, and so that's why I said it's good to have these conversations. And I'm glad that you brought that up, because ain't nobody else knocked me in my side of my head, and so it's good to hear it from wise. And so I would be a fool, and I'll say it live on this. I'd be a fool not to hear what you're saying and not take wise counsel from someone that does this, and the importance of having a busy schedule, and you know what I'm saying. So, and that's some of our problem as young people. We hear you talking, we letting it go what, and man, I just told you something so valuable that you let it go in one ear and out the other. You ain't let none of that stay right in between there. You know what I mean? That's a lot of our generation problem. That's for me too. Including me. Sometimes we'll hear something and just let it go out until, for me though, I bounce back man, what the world? I should have. You know what I'm saying? For me, it always gets back up if I would have just. So now that's why I'm anytime I'm hearing wise counsel, ain't no should have. I'm gonna do it. It's so that way it can work. And it'll help with what I got going on, you know what I'm saying, right now, so I definitely take that as wise counsel for sure.
Back to your kids for a moment. What example do you want your kids to see in you?
Oh man, leadership. That's one thing I instill for sure in my sons is be leaders. That's why I can stand on, if a teacher called me, I can literally say, but what did the other child do? You get what I'm saying? Because I taught and I train my sons. You're not, don't be the person trying to be a bully and beating people up. And you don't, that does not make you a king. That does not make you, you know what I'm saying, a leader. That does not make you above nobody. You know what I'm saying? That does not show dominance. The quietest person in the room can be the strongest person in the room. You know what I'm saying? So understand you have to use your mind. So that's what I instill in my kids, my sons, my daughters. Like I let them know because of they're so skillful in what they do, leadership. But if you fail, because girls will take it a little bit different than a boy would. If something happens, don't beat yourself up. You know what I'm saying? Don't give up. You know what I'm saying? Don't quit. Don't. So I'm more passive with my girls. You know what I'm saying? Like, baby, you know what I'm saying? It's okay if something happens. My boys I'm more stern on because you know what I'm saying? I'm not raising no weak men. You know what I'm saying? Like, not a part of this legacy that my dad left. And for me to be 11 and remember stuff that my dad taught me before he died, you know, that means my father was doing what he was supposed to do. So even if I don't have long to live with them, I want to instill enough in them to remember, like, you know what, my dad, because no matter what, it's certain things I'm just not going to do. I don't care if my daddy's not here. But what will my dad, you know what I'm saying? Like, what will my dad, no, he wouldn't be for that, or he wouldn't be cool with that. You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing I try to instill in my kids is leadership, mainly. Don't follow. Don't follow the train. Lead the train. You know what I'm saying? But lead it well. Lead it properly.
So let's do another random question.
Mm-hmm.
We're in Detroit, and the next couple of days is supposed to be 90-something degrees every day.
Mm.
How hot does it have to be outside before you turn your air conditioning on?
For me, because I actually keep my blinds closed a lot too, so it keeps a lot of that sun out. So it would have to be for me, like 90 something. You know what I'm saying? For real, when it's dry heat for me, like if it's just like this sweltering heat, no air passes, I can't even crack my window and get a breeze, then I'm cutting my air on. You know what I'm saying? Because for me, like I said, shade keeps out a lot of heat, and I learned that, and I figured that out. Like, that's how I save a lot of money too on my air. And I didn't know that until one day I made a mistake and left my blinds closed, and it was hot, and I'm like, it feel like 10 degrees cooler than what it would have been when I leave my blinds open, and it was hot. I didn't have my air on or nothing. I didn't have it on the timer, so I'm like, no, my air. So it was cooler though. So, you know, if it was a difference, not saying it was a whole drastic, feel like a cooler in here, but it was cooler. So for a lot of times, I'll keep the blinds closed, and then once it get unbearable, it's like, ooh, I need that air now. You know, I'm almost there. Blinds open. I'm almost there, dog. I'm about to walk away from the camera, turn that air on.
I'm like, I'm gonna pay the bill, so I'm gonna be cool in the summer and I'm gonna be hot in the winter.
Yes, sir.
The bill's still gonna show up.
Yes, sir. And that's the thing. Yeah, it's still gonna show up regardless. Matter of fact, I call them. Amen.
You're known throughout the Detroit area for being a praise and worship leader. Talk about your beginning as a praise and worship leader.
Oh man, who I think his name was Pastor Lawrence Lundy, if I'm not mistaken. Pastor Lawrence, he's in Ohio now, but he was actually one of my old band directors at Cooley, and he was pastoring, and we connected somehow, and he found out I was a worshiper, and that was like the first church that really kind of accepted me into lead worship for them, and so I was a worship leader for him for like maybe 2 years before he ended up packing up and going to Ohio. But it's been, I think that was about 13 years ago, you know what I'm saying? And it's just been, since then, God has just been opening up door, you know what I'm saying, after door. And I can't, you know, I don't know really how to explain it, because it was never my plan to travel like this. I always wanted to be an artist for sure. You know what I'm saying? Like do music and stuff, put music out eventually. But to be where the place where I'm traveling or people are calling me to do praise and worship, I would have never thought that this would be like that, honestly, 13 years ago, because I wasn't expecting it. I wasn't expecting to be the person to get a call. Hey, can you do praise? If you call me to do praise and worship for your church every Sunday, then I would, okay, that's cool. But to be people calling, like, we're trying to book, that's what they call. So I have to give the terminology, like, I'm trying to book you. I'm like, you want to do what? Book me? That sounds like jail. You ain't booking me. No, only booking I know about is if you going to jail, they want to book you or something. No. You ain't booking me. But they're like, no, we want to, get your ministry. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, we can do that. Yeah.
Over time, how did you learn what makes a person a great praise and worship leader? I mean, anybody can sing a song.
Oh man, that's the point. When I got to the point where, life taught me how to be a great worship leader. When I don't know if this is gonna be a question, but when I was homeless a few years ago, that for me was more because I got robbed at gunpoint. That was life changing, but it wasn't like when I became homeless. I experienced a lot, but when I became homeless, that's when I really was like, God, all right, now I've been serving you, and it's to the point where it's like I'm going to these ministries and I'm pouring my heart and my soul out, and these people have homes to go to. You get what I'm saying? And so he told me, he said, son, anybody can, just what you said, anybody can get up there and sing a song. But what you're not, I don't care. And he said, I don't even care this is what he told me. I can't speak for nobody else. He said, I don't care what other people get up and do. But for you, Jo Staley, I will not allow you to sing in front of my people and you ain't experienced me. If you ain't experienced your back being up against the wall, I will not allow you to sing that song, You Were Made a Way, if I have never made a way for you. I cannot allow you to stand on my platform or any position that I give you and tell a lie. Because what you have is real. What you have is authentic, and it can be tainted because everything is good, and all you know is the goodness, and all you see. But if you've never experienced me as God, you know what I'm saying? Like, for you, I can't let you get up there and not have an experience and know that it was me. So when you say you made I'm not singing it just because it's Travis Green's song. I'm singing it because I know I'm standing here only because pulling me through. Songs like that, you get what I'm saying? Words became different. You know what I'm saying? So the experience, life really made me the worship leader, and God just made it he just told me, like, bro, I can't let you do that. You know what I'm saying? So whatever you thought you wanted to do, sound good, be good. But in order for you to do what I have you to do, I gotta push you through some things. I gotta make you get robbed at gunpoint. I gotta put you in, and it may be sad, but it's like it's for a purpose, and it's for His purpose. You know?
I think a lot of times we as singers, as praise and worship leaders, whatever the gift that God has us in, we want the fanfare without the work.
But the work,
you brought up a good point that it's easy to sing words, but when you've lived you've experienced those words,
it's a total difference. It hits you differently, even when you saying it. You get what I'm saying? It's like because you're thinking about how He made that way, or you think that people like you, and people. That's what I tell people. You see me where I'm at, and you see what's going on in my life now, but you don't know you don't know the struggles, and you don't know what God had. You don't know the fire that I had to go through. You know what I'm saying? For this ain't no walk in the park. And like I said, the stuff that I'm doing now, it's just starting to flourish. This is 13 years. I just started. My first single was 3 years ago. After 13 years of doing this, you know, and I told God, I'm not the person that's just quick to release music either. If I don't have an assignment for it or something like that with a purpose, then I ain't about to just release music, just have music, because it's not going to do nothing but just edify me and saying I got this out and I got this out. Right. Get this, you know. So
let me encourage you.
Yes, sir.
I was writing for years, writing songs for my church choir. It took me 40 years to get my first recording out.
Oh my God. Wow.
And this year will be the 10th year of me doing my live
Wow.
recording session.
Wow. Congratulations, sir.
So I just
Wow.
want to encourage you. It's
Yeah.
about God's timing. I believe
God,
that God will raise you, excuse me, for a season. You got to go to that season of preparation. And I
absolutely.
remember going through, I would write songs, send them off to artists, and people would reject my music,
Mm.
laugh at my singing.
Wow.
God allowed me to. One time He spoke to me, said, your anointing doesn't belong everywhere." So I
Right.
speak that to you. Your anointing doesn't belong everywhere. You're going to go through a crushing time, a crushing
Man.
period, but the oil that's going to come out of that, that's going to break yokes for people, man. It's going to be,
Yeah.
you're seeing it now.
Yes,
This
sir.
15 years, you're seeing
Yes,
it now. But what's going to happen in the future, man, when that oil starts seeping out of you a little bit more, when you
yes, sir.
need to release yourself and that oil just starts to flow out and you start seeing impact of people that are hearing what it is that you're doing,
Yes,
um,
sir.
it's going to blow you away. It's
Yes,
going
sir.
to blow you away. Let me stop preaching because we're doing an interview right now.
Listen, you know I'm all ears right now. You see, I'm shaking my head like, sir, I'm here for it. I know we got 45 minutes, but I'm here for it. I'll take it off. For
So
real.
you
Yes,
kind
sir.
of talked about 3 years ago, you released your first single. So that
Yes,
was
sir.
back in 2021. You partnered with
Uh-huh.
Joshua Knighton. Did I get his name right?
Yes, sir.
To release the single, We Lift You Up. How
Mhm.
journey from praise and worship leader to recording artist?
I'm gonna be honest. It was hard, and it's still like I wouldn't say battle, but it's a because for me, even in artistry, I'm still a worshiper. So it's hard because I know art. And people have to understand artists. There's artist mode. You know what I'm saying? So like this is one thing I tell people. Me leading so an assignment is a difference between an assignment for me. Like somebody asked me, "Can you be my worship leader at my church?" And this is me every Sunday. I'm not an artist. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
If you book me for a concert, then I'm an artist. At this point, if it's an assignment and I'm here every week, I'm your worship leader. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to gauge it because it's like when it's that kind of assignment, I'm not coming in like no artist or I'm grandiose. So I'm coming to really serve the ministry and the vision of the church. And I just believe artistry, that's why I was really scared to even call myself an artist. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't want people to think like, oh, he just grandiose. He ain't gonna come to worse. I'm that first, so that's one question I would ask you. How did you know what I'm saying? Like, is it a separation between the two, or is it, am I looking at that wrong, or is
I
it,
don't, you're
you
not looking
know,
at it wrong.
mhm,
I've been serving at my church for 46, 47 years.
mhm.
So the thing that I had to learn that when I'm at church, even though I do all this other stuff outside of church, when I'm at church, I'm there to serve.
Yes, sir.
I'm there
Absolutely.
to be
Okay.
the choir director. I'm
Absolutely.
there to
Yes, sir.
be the praise and worship leader. That's
Yes,
my
sir.
everything else that I do don't matter.
Yes,
I'm,
sir.
I'm there to serve. And
Yes,
I think
sir.
we have to understand that separating point.
Okay. Yes, sir.
For years, my church didn't realize the stuff I did outside of church.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Because when
yeah.
I'm at church, I'm Brother Carl. I'm just Brother
Yes,
Phillips.
sir.
I'm
Yes,
Trustee
sir.
Phillips.
Yes, sir.
I'm the choir
Yes, sir.
director.
Yes,
My
sir.
choir members don't care about nothing I do about outside of church. I
That's
need
what I'm.
a director at choir rehearsal. So I understand what it is that you're saying. And I think it's important. One of the
Mhm.
things that I share with young people that the church that you serve at is not your platform to start.
Man.
That's your platform to learn. A
Yes, sir.
lot of stuff I can do outside of church, I
Because
learned it in church.
it's like your training. It's like you
That's our
going to
training
train,
ground. Yeah. Yeah.
and then when you go out, you will know how to. So that's exactly what I be. So thank you, sir. Like that. That's because for a long time I always was like, am I? Because it was not a battle, but it's like I can't be a straight artist because I know if a certain ministry, whether it's my home church or not, call me, like say it's just Third New Hope, will call me, say I'm bringing you on to be our worship leader. I'm not an artist at this point.
No.
I'm in the role as I'm a servant now. I'm here to serve the ministry, whatever the vision of the house is. I'm here to carry it out. If y'all want prophetic worship the whole time, I'm now in artist mode where I'm doing what I came to do. I come to do what's gonna make sure the pastor can get his word out. The church is effective. You know what I'm saying? It's effective for the church. So it's like, but when somebody booked Jo Staley Ministries, it's like when I go out, I'm an artist. I go do what I gotta do, because after that, I'm done. You know, so it's like, so thank that. I really appreciate, you know what I'm saying, that, because I didn't know if it was even, you know what I'm saying, was it it's even hard for me to explain, because it's like I never wanted to feel like, okay, am I separating? But because I am an artist, is it okay to still be like, okay, I'm a worshiper at heart, and still be like, okay, I'm an artist, but you know, or do you just go be like, you're an artist, bro? Like, it's hard for me to just stay in that, because I'm not an artist everywhere, if that makes sense.
I think you bring up a great point, because you have to learn how to separate the two.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm in a service, if you know, most people that may invite me to a service, they just want me to come and do what I do. But
Right.
if I'm coming in that artist mode, I have to find that person and able to be that artist and able to get up and do what I need to do in them 10 minutes and sit out, versus when I'm coming to lead worship, I'm coming to direct a choir.
Yes, sir.
My job is to create an atmosphere.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
This kind of the Bible talks about the singers and musicians creating the atmosphere, so that when the preachers came out, that there was almost no need to preach.
Yes, sir. To the point where there was no need to preach. Oh my God. Yes, sir. Absolutely.
And sometimes we have to learn how to put the service in that place.
Yes, sir.
So that the minister could just get up and go, who wants to be saved?
Yes.
Sometimes when you're in artist mode, you can't do that.
Can't do that.
Yeah, but when you're in worship leader or leading the service, you can create that. In 2023, you came out with "This Is the Day" featuring Motor City Worship. Talk about the song and working with Motor City Worship.
Yes, sir, man. It was real fun. We did a whole live recording. We're gonna revisit that. But this is the day. It was a real fun time, man. Shout out to Apostle Jason Palmer for the opportunity for that project. It was fun because to see first off, the way I want to say thank you, Detroit, for showing out the way y'all did, for coming out, and you know, so for those who see it, please, I thank y'all so much for coming out. It was, and the youth that was there, the Motor City Choir, everything was put together so well, man. I don't have any complaints. Sean McClain, he did the production on there, from top to bottom. Eric Pruitt was producer. You know, everybody, Booster on bass, DeMarcus on drum. Everybody it was just a nice, solid situation. You know what I'm saying? And everything was, you know, it was a good, like I said, and the way it worked, the process was like made 2-4, because like I said, what we centered around was the word of God, you know. And so once you keep that the focus, and like that was the focus, everything else was easy. We wasn't trying to make up. The word of God can speak for itself. You know, that's what I stood on. Like, I don't want to sing nothing but the word of God. If it ain't talking about God or those words, it's nothing for me to talk about. I'm not about to be in my mind making up a bunch of lyrics. I'm about to go to the Bible so the gospel can get out in another way. You know what I'm saying? So that's just me. And so it was a fun time.
So now you have another song out called "Mighty God We Serve."
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Mighty God.
What's the story behind that song?
Okay, so when we was working on the Logos project, and so we put that on hold. And so like for a minute I was kind of like, man, I want to release, you know, I want to release Logos. So he's like, no. I have you now you have to create something to bridge the gap. You have to create something to bridge the gap. That's all I heard. I'm like, create something, bridge the gap. Like, bridge what gap? Between this generation and the old generation, because you're right in the middle of it. You can get with Jesus. You know, I can, and people my age, we would come to church and we would clap. We were 2 and 4 with the older. But if anybody like 19, 17, 16, now they will stand there on you. You know what I'm saying? So and it's not our fault. It's so much now for them to get that ain't grabbing their attention. And
Right.
so what he said was take Congregational. So the name of the album is going to be called The Congregation. So the singles, I got 3 singles coming out, out, the next one is Victory, you know what I'm saying? And so the point of it is these are congregations. What a mighty God we serve. What a mighty God we serve. So instead of me trying to go there and try to make, if it's a mixture crowd, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, if the crowd can understand, if a preacher can put new clothes to say on what is it, on the old text, why can't we put new clothes on old lyrics, And so the thing is like, one thing the older crowd can say is, I changed up your words. I didn't do that. I didn't go away from the grain. All I did was put new clothes so that the 19-year-old, the 17-year-old, the 13-year-old would sing Mighty God We Serve and get it and have it their way. You know what I'm saying? And prayerfully, because when, the way I do it, and when it's alive, of course I'm gonna do the old way. So, so the crowd can get to it, so they can know what's going on. And then, that way the young people can know this is where this came from. You know what I'm saying? These are congregationals. The whole album is going to be congregational songs, but they're just going to be in a new form. You get what I'm saying? So it's just a way for young people to get a hold of. So even if they heard it now old, they hear it old, they're like, oh, I heard that before. Like, I know them lyrics, because they probably never learned them like that, because they probably on their phone. But if they hear they might, oh man, I can vibe. Okay, I can vibe to that a little bit. But so they don't even know that they're singing the congregational probably at this point. They just think they're singing What a Mighty God. But you don't even know you singing the old congregation that was from the 1800s. You know what I'm saying? So you don't even know how far this go back.
Right.
So that was the point. He said, create something to bridge the gap. So that's how that pretty much came. And I promise you, the moment the congregational dropped, he put that, he said, do a congregation. Mighty God we serve for then. It's every song that came. It's just like the music is ready. It's just about recording it and getting it out. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm just not the one that's quick to do it. I'm pacing myself, and I'm waiting on God to say, okay, move. You know what I'm saying? Move, drop. Just because I got it in the bag, just because we got it arranged, just because I can record it tomorrow if I wanted to get it done, don't mean you do that. I didn't say move. Sometimes we move out of time. You know what I'm saying? And that's why some things fail, because you ready for it to drop. You ready for your beat to come out. You so ready. It's like, brother, I didn't tell you that yet. I got what I got my faith though. You know what I'm saying? I'm working my faith. So when you ready to say shoot, I got a bet. I'm loaded, brother.
You ready to run. Jo Staley, man, this has been an awesome conversation. I appreciate you so much. How can people follow you on social media? How can they get your music? How can they contact you?
Everything is Jo Staley or Jo Staley Ministries. Like you can, and it's it's JOSTALEY Ministries, MINISTRIES. So you can find me on either Jo Staley or Jo Staley Ministries on all platforms, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. So you can find Jo Staley and Jo Staley Ministries on Facebook, because I have 2 separate pages. My music is on every platform, like whatever you have, YouTube, Tidal, iTunes, Apple Music, whatever you have, it's everywhere. You can't miss it. Spotify, Pandora, you can find it anywhere. So it's not a miss or nowhere. It's everywhere. And if it's not, let me know, because I'm talking to some people.
Oh yeah, it's everywhere, because I found it. I did find it.
All right.
All 3 of your singles, I found them.
I don't have no problem with these people. I pass by.
So again, it's been a pleasure, man, speaking with you. Everybody, go get Jo's new single, Mighty God We Serve. Check him out. A great man of God. Get him to your church to lead praise and worship. Or if you need a great artist to come to your musical, get him for that too. I'd like to close again by reminding everyone to remember to work like you don't need the money, love like you've never been hurt, and dance like no one's watching you, and dance like you're serving the mighty God. God bless
Yeah.
until we meet again. Peace.
Peace. All right.
The Carl B. Phillips Show is produced by Carl B. Phillips for Prove Me Productions. For more information about Carl B. Phillips, visit carlbphillips.com. Subscribe to The Carl B. Phillips Show on YouTube or your favorite podcast outlet.